Recording.
Hello, Happy New Year. I'm Nubian Queen and this is my king.
Nubian King.
And so we decided to have this start a YouTube channel and talk about things to do with relationship, parenting, finances. I think anything? Communication.
Pretty much the whole spectrum of relationships, what it entails, and just the ups and downs as you're going through different challenges through your life, children, that kind of thing. And it's going to be a ride, so buckle up.
Yes. And we have 4 children, and each of them are going to be asking us a series of questions today. All right, so our first one, introducing yourself.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth. I'm their eldest, and I'm going to ask them a question. So,
How old are you?
oh, I'm 24.
Because we're looking for a doctor for her.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question for you
We're a
guys
little old-fashioned.
is, what were your first impressions of each other when you first met?
Well, yeah, Daddy and I were in the military, and we were stationed in Spain. And I saw him. Okay, so no judgment. We were in the NCO club, and I met him. Well, I saw him walking by, and I said to myself, I'm going to talk to this gentleman. And so he came over, and he walked by again, and he did have a drink in his hand. I mean, life has changed. We don't drink like that or hang out in clubs anymore. But so when he walked by, I glanced at him, and I kind of watched him walk across the room, trying to get his attention.
Basically, we had serious eye contact.
And I was actually at that time I was shy, but I figured staring at him walking across the room would let him know I'm interested. So then he came over and he
built up my courage a little bit and said, let me talk to this young lady.
So he came over and he sat down, and even though I was very excited to meet him, I was like, "Excuse me, I didn't say you could sit down." And so at that point, he jumped up and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Is there anybody sitting here?" And I said, "No." And he says, "May I have a seat?" And I said, "Sure, help yourself." And so we've been inseparable since then.
So basically, we started off on a formal way of doing it. And even though it was an informal situation, but, as being old-fashioned, there are ways of courting a woman and just going through the motions as far as getting to know each other.
And that's why we named our page, what is it name? Court Your Queen. Court Your Queen. He also did ask me for my number. At that time, there were no cell phones. And so he had to remember my room number so he can come by and visit me. And he did ask me for my number again, room number. And I was like, well, if it was really important to you, you would have remembered. And of course he did. So now our second child would like to come over and ask us a question. What is your question?
Hi, I'm Portia. I am 22, not looking for a doctor or a lawyer, so please stop. And so my question is, what was the moment where you guys knew that you were the one for each other?
How about you? I'll let you answer that first.
Well, it took me a while. I don't jump into things right away, so I basically took my time and tried to figure out if she is the one. But I did know deep down inside that I was ready for marriage, and I even told my parents that and my siblings before I left to go to Spain that, yeah, I'm ready to settle down. So, and the Lord just worked it out to where, it was about maybe less than a week as I got in the country where that's when I met my girlfriend, future wife.
When he says that he doesn't make decisions quickly, that is an understatement. But yes, okay, all right.
But I already had it in my mind that I was ready to settle down. The running around stuff it got tiring, boring, and just wasn't going anywhere.
So how old were you when we met?
I was 26.
26, 27, and I was like 23, 24. And I only had a few boyfriends before my husband, but when I met him, I knew right away. And we would have conversations about different things, and he would always talk about, oh, I'm gonna have this, my house, my wife, my this and that, and I'm like, So I think that there was a little bit of anxiety as far as making a commitment. And he said he wanted to have a Porsche, so I did give him a Porsche. But
Human form.
human form, yes. So anyway, next question. Yeah, so in other words, I knew while she's coming, I knew right away that I wanted to marry him, but I couldn't tell him. I didn't want to scare him away. So come on, keep coming.
Okay.
Keep coming. Yes. So, what is your question?
Okay.
Well, what's your name?
My name is Sarah Marie, and my question. Do I have to go? Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay, I don't want to.
She's in her second year of college, and she's an English major.
Okay, will you skip? Okay. Anyway, what's your guys' favorite flower?
Mine.
Okay, no, I was joking. If you actually really want to answer it, you can.
I like gardenia, and I like roses.
I really don't have one, so.
But I'm your friend.
But
Okay.
actually, my
And I'm in bloom.
Okay, I'll ask you my second question.
Okay.
How long did you guys date before you got married?
it was about a year or so.
About a year.
And the way I proposed was rather unique, even to my wife, girlfriend back then. During the military, during Christmas time, they had little small skits where, if you're especially overseas,
People
you're
were walking
saying
around with cameras.
hello to your families at home. So they were recording. And during that recording, after we said, Happy New Year, friends and family at home and all that, and I just mentioned, oh, and by the way, this is my fiance. So that was a surprise to not only my family and friends at home, but also to my fiance at the time.
At that time,
So,
it did catch me off guard. We were standing outside the BX in Torrejon, Spain, and actually not all of our family saw it because it was a quick 15-second shot between commercials, and so I think one friend from high school saw it, his sister saw it, and maybe a couple other people. So that was kind of cool though.
And the news spread rather quickly.
It did. So we flew home from Spain. You come on, home from Spain to New England where we lived. Both of us just happened to be from New England, and then we got married in New England.
Yeah, and then
About a year or so later.
After a year or so, then we flew back to Spain because we only came home on leave to get married, and then flew back and spent another year in Spain.
Yes.
So that first year was just being by ourselves and working things out. You can't just run home to mommy or daddy kind of thing when you have conflicts or whatever. So it cemented us a little bit better.
True.
So.
True. All right. And what's your name?
Hey, I'm Robert Jr., Chris the Junior of Robert Sr. I'm 13, and my question is, how long have you guys been married?
All right.
Well, we've been married 32 years now, and still going strong.
Amen.
We have ups and downs like everybody else, different relationships, but sticking it out. We have that premise that we said to each other, we're going to work it out. We don't want to separate or don't even want to say the D word, because basically that's not an option.
So July would be 33 years that we've been married.
33 years this year, yes.
Yep. And so basically we could almost say that Spain was our honeymoon because we did fly from New England back to Spain. And then from there we had a follow on to Tampa, Florida.
Yes.
And so that's where, Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, we did
We did
go to
spend
Jamaica.
a week in Jamaica.
Yeah,
though,
we did.
yes.
Which is where you're originally from.
Right.
All right. So this is series number 1, and we're hoping that hopefully we'll try and get to upload a video once a week or so. And like I said, we'd like to have it to be, this one was on family, an intro to our channel, communication, finances, money, and then and marriage things. And we did start an Instagram channel today, so that's going to be Court Your Queen on Instagram. And then who knows, I'll try and maybe get to YouTube. This is YouTube, but maybe Twitter. So anyway, thank you for joining us, and hopefully you'll have a happy new year, and look forward to Sunday or whatever for our next video, right?
So please join us again and we'll still be here.
Yes. Thank you.